When this was first revealed, I remember a few years back that this was happening, and good friends of mine, like Darren Grimes, has got, he has got a police record for a hate incident that wasn't a crime because someone didn't like something he said online. I think most people just thought this was made up. They thought it was an April Fool's joke, but as often the case, this isn't. As someone whose job it was, to lead the police as a chief constable and deal with crimes. What do you make of the idea that people could be investigated and still have a record when no crime has been they've been convicted of?
I can see it can feel strange. I think you need to look at the background. The background came from the Stephen Lawrence report, which basically said that if somebody perceives that there has been a hate crime or indeed a hate incident, then that should be taken at face value and should be recorded as such. You've then got the whole issue around the DBS checks, the enhanced vetting, which came from the Seoul murders, which, if you remember, was when a case of the school caretaker where there had been suspicions, where there had been allegations, and they hadn't been properly recorded and hadn't been shared when that man applied for a job to work at a school. So all this has really been conflicted. It then plays into, clearly, the really difficult issue about what is hate speech and what isn't, what is offensive and what is not, what's racially or religiously offensive. And it is obviously extremely complex and has got a lot of emotion about it. I think the police's view is sometimes some of this behaviour can be the precursor to other behaviour. I mean, obviously, we're doing this in the week when there's going to be a boycott of the weekend on social media for all the racism against police officers. We obviously have developed.
Well, no, it's in the sporting world, but
sporting world. Yeah, sorry, against footballers, I should have said. As obviously attitudes have changed towards things like trans people and gay people, and really the police have been caught in the middle of this of big changes in societal attitudes. I think what I would say, is the police should still be given the discretion to record this when they think there are some more serious underlying issues. But I think what the review should look at is absolutely whether it should be part of the DBS system. But I think there are wider concerns about the DBS system, which possibly should be looked at.
But there's a very big difference, isn't there, between, say, again, I remember the obvious case of the Sir murderers, that actually this man, there was a sort of, he had form, and if all of the people who had concerns about him and his behaviour in the past had come together, you'd have all gone, oh God, this guy is clearly a danger to children. There is a difference, isn't there, for recording possible instances, an accusation of, say, a serious violent crime or sex abuse or the like, and keeping these allegations on a back file just in case and people being aware of them, as opposed to issues of hate speech. So this idea that because if you said something to me and which didn't involve anything that was criminal, and I decided that was sexist, I can go to the police right now and I can make a complaint for you for hate crime. They can investigate you, and if I say no, I still think that it was sexist, you will have a record for the end of time of having done that, even though there's no evidence of it, there is no intent of it, there is no crime convicted. I'm sorry, that's wrong. That is fundamentally against every principle of our criminal justice system.
Yeah, but I think what you can't do is that you can't unmake the fact that the allegation was made. What you can, and the police have to record the fact that was happened. And they dealt with it in a particular way. I think what you can change, absolutely, is whether that's recorded in an intelligence system and whether that is then shared with other people. But I think, I absolutely understand that, what you say does sound outrageous. But I think...
Well, not sound outrageous. I mean, it's literally happening every day.
I know, but I think to actually in practice put a definition around that and say that these things are minor and these things are more serious and these things absolutely are innocent and these things could lead to something more serious is really, really difficult. I do agree. I think the whole thing does need to be reviewed in the light of the experience since the Stephen Lawrence report. But, I would say the police are trying to find their way through a really difficult world of different attitudes, of different communities, of a very diverse society. And as I say, they're often caught in the middle of this. I do think the bigger question is absolutely whether there should be more discretion for police in recording that in intelligence systems, and also whether that then is part of the DBS system. But as I say, the police are caught in the middle because often If they don't take it seriously, then they're recorded that that they are then accused of not taking racism seriously or transphobia seriously and caught in the middle of it. So probably a review is the right way, taking into account all the different issues.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? So Peter Fahy, really appreciate you joining us, former Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police. Lots to take in there.